I'm the sports professor Rick Horrow. Beyond the Scoreboard, the serious show that doesn't take itself too seriously, but $1 trillion sports business here and internationally. And we bridge that gap from a number of perspectives, from the playmakers, deal makers, and rule makers in the world of sports. I'll give you my take on some of the items of the week using my 30 years of experience doing deals for teams, leagues, and players. Let's get started. Scratch Rory McIlroy off the list of Olympic competitors. The winner of 4 major golf championships has decided to skip the Rio Games because of health fears over the Zika virus. The 27-year-old was due to represent Ireland. McIlroy said even though the risk of infection is low, quote, it's a risk nonetheless, and a risk I'm unwilling to take. He joins fellow golfers Vijay Singh of Fiji and Charles Schwartzel of South Africa, who already said they wouldn't compete. The mosquito-borne Zika virus can cause crippling birth defects and in adults has been linked to a neurological disorder. And while all Olympic venues have some degree of controversy 180 days out, the breadth and scope of these concerns seems unprecedented. A big win for the NBA and a big loss for the NHL. We're talking TV ratings. The dramatic Game 7 of the basketball finals between the Golden State Warriors and Cleveland Cavaliers drew the highest ratings since Michael Jordan's last finals game in 1998, according to NBA.com. The audience topped 30 million viewers. That's about 6 times what the Pittsburgh Penguins hoisting the Stanley Cup drew after Game 6 of their series against the San Jose Sharks. That was down from the final game a year earlier. The NHL Finals overall saw TV ratings fall nearly 30% from a season ago, according to NBC. Yet, the NHL captures postseason momentum, officially awarding Las Vegas an expansion franchise beginning play in 2017. And the high TV ratings for the NBA come at a great time for the league. Teams are busy trying to secure jersey advertisements, which will show up on uniforms starting in the 17-18 season. Cleveland Chief Revenue Officer Brad Sims tells Sports Business Daily the Cavs are putting all of their resources toward this effort during the summer. The team could get $10 million a year from the ads. The team with the worst record this past season, the Philadelphia 76ers, already signed a $5 million per year jersey deal with StubHub. The obvious prediction is that Commissioner Silver's 3-year test period for this will quickly become permanent. Rick Horrow, sports professor, back in just a minute.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number.
Call 877-499-MY-TV.
The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So cancel the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money.
Call 877-499-MY-TV.
Right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $24.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $24.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card.
Call 877-499-MY-TV. That's 877-499-MY-TV.
Cancel the cable, cut costs, and get more.
Call now, 877-499-MY-TV. That's 877-499-MY-TV.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply. Subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Kid, this facility is like a ship. So how do I keep us on course without micromanaging every detail? Easy, with Grainger. Grainger's online tools help give me the visibility I need. I can shop, order, and manage all our activity. Oversee purchases, control costs, all while you guys get to order what you need when you need it. I run a tight ship, kid. I run it with Grainger. Get it? Got it? Good. Learn more at Grainger.com/online purchasing. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
iHeartRadio loves music, so let's count the ways. Over 20 million songs from 800,000 artists, all free. And like Pandora, you can create your own custom station from any of those 800,000 artists. Just tell us an artist or even a song that you like, and we'll build a custom playlist for you. Add to that thousands of the best live radio stations, and you'll never have to worry about finding the perfect song for your commute, mood, or party. Millions of songs, thousands of stations, one free app. iHeartRadio is that easy. Download our iHeartRadio app today or listen online at iHeartRadio.com.
Sports professor Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard, the serious show that doesn't take itself too seriously, but the trillion-dollar sports business. Now, the business of tennis and the effort of major governing bodies of the sport to work together. I talk with Ken Solomon, president of Tennis Channel. You've taken a new step, and the Sinclair purchase and realignment. So give us some of the details and what it means to the Tennis Channel and the business of televising tennis.
Sure. Well, and jump in and stop me at any time as you will. But when the network was formed almost a dozen years ago now, at least ideated and then brought to market, it was done backed by private equity. So this moment was always going to come, and frankly, logic would have dictated that it would have come sooner. But we had a great club of both angel round investors who were serious, cable executives and luminaries, combined with Bain, Battery, Columbia Capital, and J.P. Morgan. And, they recognized that we were doing something very special and gave us a much longer timeline than usual. They also allowed us to really build the network to something approximating full scale, as opposed to kind of just working our way in and then saying to a prospective owner, hey, you put in a lot of money to make it what it needs to be. And if you had been able to write the script, you couldn't have written it any better than having Sinclair, and that is not puffery, that is a fact. They are really the perfect new owner and partner. Our team is effectively remaining the same. We are staying right here in Santa Monica base, even though they are based in Baltimore. A lot of people want to know the answer to that question. And it's very, very exciting. They bring a tremendous amount to the table. They bring the ability to scale, and that was evidenced, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it, by upon announcement, the fact that already deals had been done to add a minimum of 20 million additional subscribers at rate to our 30-plus million that we already had. And going north, that's just where we were to start on announcement. And they also bring 171 television stations and the ability to tell the story of tennis domestically and very, very hyper-locally through 171 stations, news and sportscasters in most of those stations. Most of those stations are in the top 80% of the country, going all the way up to Washington, D.C., WJLA, the ABC affiliate there. And there's huge, huge opportunity to continue building out this sport in the way that we have, using a national footprint of a tennis channel that we believe will be, in the range of where Golf Channel is, probably 70-plus million homes in the foreseeable future, combined with that kind of a local broadcast footprint. When you take the value that this sport has, from the players to the way it's played year-round to the fact that it's every day, and that we couldn't possibly cover it all on one network, and that it's growing, and that our ratings were growing without distribution growth. It's a pretty great setup for what we think is going to be a really exciting and perhaps continuing to be an interruptive future.
So as we're off and running and we're into the major season now, timing couldn't be better for all of this. Tell me, if you had a magic wand and you were the commissioner of tennis, and you're a lot closer today than you were a few years ago, let's say, what would be the one thing that you would try to attack and evolve in the game today? Governance, rules, structure, blank slate.
There's a lot of stuff out there about players and matches, and is it all on the up and up and all that, and I think that's being handled rather well. It's not an immediate process. Everyone wants an immediate answer, but I think the result of what started in Australia with the BuzzFeed article about match fixing and things like that and gambling is what people are going to find through the processes. It's an infinitesimal amount of malfeasance going on in the game, and that the game itself is incredibly vigilant at attempting to find things, maybe two, some would argue, at attempting to, root out anything that would make it other than a meritocracy in terms of who's best. And so I think that's all being handled well. You can always keep your eyes on it and try to make it better. For us on a macro level, Rick, in some ways we're trying to do it from our little place in the world, which is getting to be a larger place, which is to bring it all together. And the difference between tennis and so many sports, particularly the U.S. stick and ball sports, and is that there's no central singular governing body. And that's perfectly fine. We might not exist if there were, or we'd probably be owned by them. There is some good that comes from having singular governing bodies that can bring together, create alignment among all constituents, and then move the sport forward. The men's and the women's tours are two different, ATP and WTA are two different things. The majors are all uniquely owned. Some are private. Others are parts of their countries. Every country has its equivalent of the USTA, representing it. And then we haven't even broken into college. There's so much. There's the ITF who controls the cups, who sanctions the majors, and who's sort of a governing body above it all, but doesn't have the jurisdiction to make things happen in all of it. And for us, it's pretty simple. Bring it all together, because when you put it all together, no sport can match tennis in terms of the quality and consistency of the product on a year-round basis, with individual stars that are superstars that transcend the game. You still have Roger Federer at the top of the list, of that Forbes list you mentioned. You still have generally 3 women in the top 50 and 3 men or so in the top 50 year in and year out, beating movie stars and other major sports stars. And that's just kind of a magic combination. So for us, it's bring it together. You will always have individuals who say things that sound like we're not together. And the more that we can create alignment, the faster tennis can continue to compete in the world sports arena against other sports on an equal footing.
Do you think long-term the organizations are moving in the right direction to see that ultimately there has to be more coordination than there is today, or not?
I think there is, and that doesn't mean that it's perfect. Nothing is, nor is any marriage. But you look at, I'll go back to, I like to highlight the good, but let's go back to what some people thought was, not such a great day when this article came out about Australia, creating an accusation that the governing bodies were conspiring to cover up some kind of a mass match-fixing gambling thing. Well, the truth is, it was, if anything, the exact opposite. Generally, it's harder to get people to agree on anything than it is to get them to conspire. But when this allegation came out, we saw a very ordered, organic, impromptu bringing together of the governing bodies. The ATP and the ITF led the way. Dave Haggerty, who's now running the ITF, who was a former USTA chairman, and now running the International Tennis Federation, as well as Chris Kermode, who runs the ATP. They were, in effect, deputized by all of the governing bodies around the world. All of those governing bodies came together. They created a plan, they got organized, and they got it out. I would have preferred, it would have, in a perfect world, all you would hope is that would have happened somehow magically in one day instead of a week. That wasn't very realistic, considering no one saw this coming, and it was, on the first day of the eve of a major. So I do think there is real movement. You see more combined tournaments, and when you see combined tournaments, you see better. You see things like Indian Wells here in California, where Larry Ellison, is clearly the archetype of, hey, look what happens when you make investment in tennis. They have created something that is, for all intents and purposes, a major in terms of its scope and scale, or very, very close. And, the other thing is it's working. We know it's working because you can't seem to buy a ticket to a major tournament anywhere in the world. I mean, they sell out the moment they expand, their capacity, building new stadiums and creating new capacity. That capacity is filled as a gas fills a pipe. So progress is, I feel a little like the president. Everyone wants everything overnight, and we all know progress is slow, but we're making progress. I think tennis is at a point where it is the equivalent of the stock market going from 600 to 1600.
And by the way, the president has been underpaid as well, so you have something else.
and other than we're a distant third to golf and basketball, but the First Lady is the one who holds, and Malia and Sasha are the ones who are holding up the tennis rackets in the White House.
Rick Horrow, sports professor, back in just a minute.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for prescription drugs? Well, we have great news. Now you can finally get prescription drugs at huge discounts from Canada Drug Center. That's right, the most popular drugs for cholesterol, high blood pressure, depression, diabetes, arthritis, and many more are now up to 75% off. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices when you can get brand name drugs at the lowest price? Call today and get up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs. Never pay high prices again. Get the most popular drugs at huge savings from our Canadian and international pharmacies and fulfillment centers. No insurance? No problem. Prices are so low you do not need benefits or insurance to get all your prescriptions fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting to take your call now. Order today and get free shipping. Just call 800-950-1180. Up to 75% off all the popular brand name prescription drugs and free shipping. Call 800-950-1180. That's 800-950-1180.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply. Subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Tired of calls, levies, and liens from the IRS or hiring others who don't get the job done? Call Wall & Associates and you'll never talk to the IRS again. The IRS has a program to eliminate tax debt, and Wall & Associates professionals are trained to maximize its benefits for you. You always speak with a live person with real support and real knowledge. We've helped thousands of taxpayers like you settle their tax debt with the IRS for a fraction of what they owe. We solve tax problems. Call Wall & Associates now, 800-480-5708. We have the professionals who know how to solve tax problems. If you owe money to the IRS, your tax problems are not going away by themselves, and the passage of time will only make matters worse. Act now, before it's too late. Call Wall & Associates right now to speak to a professional tax relief agent. Call 800-480-5708. That's 800-480-5708. Again, 800-480-5708.
Sports professor Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard, the serious show that doesn't take itself too seriously, but the trillion-dollar sports business. Good day. Welcome to the serious show that doesn't take itself too seriously, but how can it? Because it deals with issues that people have fun with. It's visibility, it's exposure, but it's a trillion-dollar business, which makes it even more intriguing than it would have been otherwise. And the bottom line is it's not just domestic, it's international, a large part of the $1 trillion, well over 50%. But in an attempt to play catch-up, let me give you a couple of ideas and seeing what happens. Ken Solomon, the chairman and CEO of the Tennis Channel, shepherding them through a no-sales opportunity. Clearly, big deals all over where we hit the ground running. I'm the sports professor Rick Horrow. This is Beyond the Scoreboard. The business of tennis and the effort of major governing bodies of the sport to work together. I talk with Ken Solomon, president of Tennis Channel. If I'm a world-class young kid that has athletic ability, let's say in the United States, but could be worldwide, and I have many options to get into many kinds of sports, why in the future am I going to be moved to become a tennis player?
That is an excellent question, and it's one that we talk about here. Increasingly, we believe, Tennis Channel, and people we talk to, that there should be a similar approach to other sports in as far as looking first for the best athlete. What tends to happen is if a child of any economic stratum, right? I mean, this can happen in public parks too, what I'm about to say, and it certainly happens at private clubs. Has the access, then it's the sort of Gladwellian, tipping point of having 10,000 hours, and they're most likely to be teed up to find a way to create a world-class competitor. But do we start the funnel in the right way? And I think the answer is that can be much, much better. That is something we are looking at. And the incentives need to be on par with the incentives for other sports. There's just no question about it. The good news is Tennis Channel, at the very least, in addition to thinking very seriously about facilitating what you're alluding to, is helping fulfill at least part of that, in that kids aren't going to want to do something if they don't see their heroes on television doing it. And that was a central thesis of us starting this all the way back. Why should a young girl who lives in South Central Los Angeles, whose hero is Serena Williams, or, by the way, maybe Maria Sharapova or Aggie Radwanska, why should she not be able to see her heroes doing what they do best? Over 93% of Serena Williams' matches last year happened live on Tennis Channel. And if we didn't have full distribution, far too much of the population wasn't having an equal shot at seeing that. You weren't going to create that motivation at the root level for kids that's so important. You talk to any major athlete and say, what made you want to do this? And they will tell you that moment they saw one of their heroes doing something, either in person or on television, and that spurred them to aspire to greatness and to believe they could do it. So you're right in your question, and that's going to be a part of what I think, a part of our new ability to scale and finally having some weight and leverage to do good. I think that's, we'd like to be a big part of that.
Ken Solomon, always a significant ambassador for the industry, but now the guy's got more passion than ever, and the chains are taking off. What a prolific foundation and prospect in the future for tennis. Thank you, Ken.
Thanks, Rick. Great to be with you. We'll see you on the court.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate it.
The interview segment with Ken Solomon, courtesy of Reuters. Now, Rick Horrow on the golf business with Joe Steranka.
Sports professor Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard, the serious show that doesn't take itself too seriously, but the trillion-dollar sports business.
The majors in golf
capture the scenes, but it's also a very large and prolific business that has gone through downturns and now back to upturns, and probably, in my mind, the definitive expert on all aspects of the golf business in all contexts, Joe Steranka. Joe, how are you?
Rick, I'm terrific. I wasn't aware that I was as omnipotent about the golf industry, it being $68 billion strong, but thank you. You always give me gracious introductions.
Well, you're those of us who have toiled in industries for more than 30 years get the de facto omnipotent title, regardless of intelligence. You were, as we know, the PGA of America head for years, and you were 25 years involved in the PGA of America as well, and the too numerous to mention the Buffalo Agency, a worldwide strategic agency golf business, the chief global strategist, president of the Honda Classic. We can go on, but from your perspective, the golf business encompasses a lot of different things. How's it doing?
It's the state of the industry is solid. Let's face it, things changed in the aftermath of the Great Recession. That any industry that relies on discretionary time and money was more greatly challenged. To demonstrate its relevance as a place that people should spend those very precious commodities. So golf, we've got 17 million loyal golf fans and participants out of the 24 million plus that play the game every year, and they drive a lion's share, 83% of the revenue that comes from our sport. 83% of the rounds, 85% of the revenue that comes into the industry every year. So I mentioned that, overall it's a $68 billion a year industry, and maybe $30 billion of that comes from golf course operations. The 440 million times a year that people show up at a golf course and go see a PGA professional to help them with their game and play on great greens prepared by a GCSA superintendent, and oftentimes managed by a CMAA manager. So did I help show all of the interested parties the amalgamation of acronyms that make golf fun for these 24 million people who come out every day?
You did, but you covered, just by nature of how the industry is today, maybe 30% of it, maybe 40%. It's hard because the statistic is blurry, meaning this is an international audience. And I know PGA of America has a very interesting perspective, but there are mirror organizations all over the world. So numbers worldwide, I know you don't have them down to the decimal point, but give us a sense of how big the golf industry is globally.
Yeah, it's about 100 million people who play around the world or have played at some point around the world. But it's also about $100 billion a year industry globally, with America racking up over 2/3 of that. People now travel the world to chase these bucket list appointments on the world's greatest golf courses. In the last few years have had the pleasure of playing in New Zealand and Tasmania and the UK, and all across the USA. But it's the biggest year in the history of the game globally, and that is, the celebration of the U.S. Open again last week in Pittsburgh. The state of Pennsylvania, golf is about a $5 billion a year industry there.
Sports Professor Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard. Speak with you in a minute.
Complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number.
Call 877-499-MY-TV.
The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So cancel the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money.
Call 877-499-MY-TV.
Right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $24.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $24.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card.
Call 877-499-MY-TV. That's 877-499-MY-TV.
Cancel the cable, cut costs, and get more.
Call now, 877-499-MY-TV. That's 877-499-MY-TV.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 877-663-7126 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 877-663-7126 to take your call now. Call 877-663-7126. That's 877-663-7126. Again, 877-663-7126.
Rebuild or replace transmission, $3,200. Anti-lock brake system, $1,000. Rebuild or replace engine, $2,400. Truth is, once your manufacturer's warranty runs out, it's all on you. Every last cent. Get protection for covered repairs with a vehicle service contract from Toco Warranty. Unlike other companies, with Toco, there's no down payment, and the monthly payments are really affordable. Not sure how long you're keeping your car? At Toco, you can pay as you go. Keep your hard-earned cash and call Toco Warranty right now at 800-222-2313 to save big money on covered auto repairs. Prices vary by vehicle, but for about the cost of a tank of gas per month, a Toco plan has your back on expensive covered car repairs. Monthly payments are very affordable. Get your free quote now. Call Toco at 800-222-2313. That's 800-222-2313. 800-222-2313. Cancellation fee may apply, subject to eligibility. Not available in Missouri and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions.
Sports Professor Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard, the serious show that doesn't take itself too seriously, but the trillion-dollar sports business.
The majors in golf capture the scene, but it's also a very large and prolific business that has gone through downturns and now back to upturns, and probably, in my mind, the definitive expert on all aspects of the golf business in all contexts, Joe Steranko.
We kicked off with the Masters, obviously, in April, and we'll follow up with a Open Championship, British Open Championship at Troon, and go to Baltusrol for the PGA of America's 100th birthday celebration, but also the season's final major, the PGA Championship. But the largest television audience in the history of men's and women's golf will come out of Rio, believe it or not. 60 men, 60 women playing 72 holes for medals for the first time in modern Olympic history. And it will usher in a whole new generation of young people that are looking up to these stars saying, yeah, I'd like to win Olympic gold, silver, or bronze as well and represent my country playing a game of golf.
Incredibly interesting perspective. Joe Steranka, Chief Global Strategist, Buffalo Communications, former head of PGA of America, and so much more. And now he's taken his Tasmanian, as you heard, golf game to a new level. Down in the southern hemisphere, does that left to right hook you put on the ball go right to left?
It was fortunate to go down there with Ian Baker Finch, the 1991 British Open champion, who's a good friend from back in South Florida. He went to Barnbougle Dunes, great, business organized by the Sattler family of Tasmania and Australia, and was made a hole-in-one on the Lost Dunes course, number 17. So
I didn't set you up for that. That's incredible. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'd never really known that you had done that, and I know you well enough to realize that it's painful for you to have kept that quiet 9 minutes into this interview. I thought you would have led with that.
Well, my biggest perspective that relates to the business of golf here in America, when I went to New Zealand and Australia, and I've seen it before in Ireland and in Scotland and England, but the cost of golf is much lower there. And even, looking at the year-round climbs of Australia, oftentimes you can join one of the top private clubs there for, $3,500 a year in annual dues. But those courses might have 1,000 or, for a 36-hole facility might have, as many as 3,000 members. And here in the United States, we're stuck at anywhere from 200 to 500 members for 18 holes, depending on where it is. And I think for private clubs to be sustainable, we've got to figure out how we manage many more members to be able to economically sustain golf courses going into the future. And they've proven you can do it in other parts of the world. And I think we need to take a look at that here in the United States.
Great segue, Joe. Just a couple more. Southern Hemisphere, then we do focus back on Rio for a minute, and people may not understand that this is not a story about whether Louis Oosthuizen or Vijay Singh are right about playing or not. This is a story about, both on the men's and women's side, an incredible, prolific opportunity to open golf to the masses internationally who've not yet seen it? And then my question would be, as Rio winds down in mid-August and beyond, after a successful men's and women's side of this, what do we do, you do, everybody does to take advantage of that to bring more golf to the masses in an affordable way?
Yeah, for the first time in our modern history, we're going to have state governments investing public dollars in the development of golf. Up to this point, golf as an industry, whether it's in the United States or Germany or South America and Australia, has been left to raise money from the private sector or help raise money through philanthropy for golf scholarships and the like. And now, as it becomes part of the national sports culture, and these national sports federations, the golf federations of the world, are being held accountable to both develop talent and give them the resources they need to win Olympic medals, to add to the medal count. And, that's a huge step to put golf on par, pun intended, with other sports. Tennis enjoyed a jump in global popularity when they came into the sport. And you're right. I think the organizations that made Olympic golf possible again did not harbor any, feeling that we were going to get every player who could potentially qualify for the event to go play. But by and large, they're all going to be there. That there are few things in this world that money can't buy, and that's an Olympic medal and a place in Olympic history and in sports history. So it's a compelling reason for the top women and the top men in the world of golf to go down to South America.
Do we find it? I find it incredible in a way that years ago, Tiger so much dominated the headlines you couldn't pick up a golf magazine, clearly, and others without talk of Tiger, the Tigerization of the tour, et cetera, regardless of whether he's coming back or not, which is not your issue or mine. Do you find it interesting and maybe positive that we're spending so little now time talking about Tiger Woods as an influence in golf today?
Well, you mentioned 30 years in sports, so I had the good fortune of working with Michael Jordan when he turned professional. I was at Pro Serve and working with David Falk and Donald Dell on the development of the Air Jordan brand, and seeing how he became an iconic global figure. And the NBA was ruining the day that would lose Michael Jordan to bring in the rating points and the cross-generational and audience that he would attract. But today, we're blessed to have Seth Curry and LeBron James and, a great generation, a new generation of NBA players. And golf has never been in better hands. Taking a look at the young guns on both the men's tour, from the Jordans and Jasons and Rorys and Rickies to, the Lexis and Lydias on the LPGA. So, time marches on, my friend, and but the beauty of it is this next generation of or new generation of players, they're very comfortable in social media. They're more accessible and available to share what's going on in their lives with their peers. And it's going to make golf all the more interesting. So the combination of the globalization of the sport, the addition of the Olympics, these young role models that young people in America and around the world can look up to, golf's never been in better hands.
The guy's been in the sports business for nearly 40 years, and when he says time marches on, he means it. Joe Steranka, thank you very much. Rick Horrow, speak with you in a couple of minutes.
And now, more Rick Horrow on the business of golf.
I'm the sports professor Rick Horrow with Beyond the Scoreboard. Kudos to Dustin Johnson, now the big fan favorite, the best golfer never to win a major. Well, that's gone now. But prior to the U.S. kicking off at Oakmont Country Club, the Open had specific golfers rearranging their sponsorship portfolio. Ricky Fowler added an endorsement with Mercedes-Benz, wearing the automaker's logo for the first time. Fowler joins Martin Keimer and Bernard Langer as Benz's official global brand ambassadors. Justin Rose made a more significant endorsement decision, switching his on-course apparel brand from TaylorMade to Adidas Golf ahead of the tournament. The world's number 10 ranked golfer has been a longtime brand ambassador of TaylorMade, but now only wearing Adidas. Not only wearing it, but he's also involved in the product development for Adidas Golf apparel. TaylorMade, a subsidiary of German-based Adidas, currently up for sale, but Rose noticed the switch was not related to the sale and was made to strengthen Adidas' golf position with top players. By the way, what did these guys have in common? They all missed the cut. Dustin Johnson, however, beginning a new era of endorsement riches starting Sunday. I'm the sports professor Rick Horrow, and that's Beyond the Scoreboard.
We all know healthcare has changed drastically. It's quite the puzzle to sort through your options and find a health insurance plan that's affordable and maximizes your benefits. And you're now required by law to have health insurance, or you may pay a tax penalty. So let the Health Markets Insurance Agency help you. They offer plans from over 120 different companies and can even help you obtain government subsidies. Let them do all the research for you and show you how affordable health insurance can be, a service that's at no extra cost to you. Call now and learn your options to find affordable health insurance. 800-614-1242. 800-614-1242, 800-614-1242, 800-614-1242. Health Markets Insurance Agency is a DBA or assumed name of Inspire Insurance Solutions, Inc., which is a licensed insurance agency in all 50 states and D.C. Not all agents are licensed to sell all products. Service availability varies by state.
Attention, if you've had hip replacement surgery and suffered any complications, you need to listen to this important legal alert. Major manufacturers have made billions of dollars available to award legal claims for defective hip implants. Thousands of these defective hip implants have been recalled by various manufacturers. If you've had hip surgery and suffered complications, you may be entitled to receive significant compensation to help you deal with your complications. You may be eligible to receive money to help with medical expenses, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Protect yourself by hiring an experienced trial attorney. Our partner law firms are experts in hip replacement surgery lawsuits. Find out now if you're eligible to receive any of the $2.5 billion hip settlement fund. Call now for free information. 800-296-1360. 800-296-1360. 800-296-1360. That's 800-296-1360.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 877-663-7126 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 877-663-7126 to take your call now. Call 877-663-7126. That's 877-663-7126. Again, 877-663-7126.
Sports Professor Rick Horrow, Beyond the Scoreboard, serious show that doesn't take itself too seriously. Had diverse guests on the show today. And now it's time for Bust, Boom, and Hope, the troubling, the good, and the creative in the economy. A champion at last. Well, congratulations to the Golden State Warriors. 73 regular season games, a record, but it wasn't good enough. LeBron James, unanimous MVP. And now LeBron and Nike may have the advantage over Kevin Plank, Under Armour, and Steph Curry. When in time his company was looking to expand the footwear business, Under Armour founder said that he had to get lucky to sign Golden State Warriors guard Stephen Curry. The upstart Baltimore-based sportswear company had no idea that Curry would become this big, this good, this fast. I'd rather be lucky than good, he said, and I've been lucky. Under Armour recently released the second model of Curry's signature shoe, Under Armour Curry 2. The shoes have come under heavy scrutiny for their bland look. Wait till the heavy scrutiny the Warriors get. In the wake of the largest mass shooting in United States history, Orlando sports teams partnering with the city of Orlando to sell shirts benefiting the victims. According to the Orlando Sentinel, the Magic, Orlando City Soccer, the Pride, the Solar Bears, and the Predators will sell t-shirts with the slogan #Orlando United and a rainbow heart printed on it. The DeVos family, owning the Magic, contributed $400,000. The Magic, another $100,000 to the victims of the nightclub shooting. The Tampa Bay Rays got on the action as well, donating proceeds from their annual Pride Night game to the victims of the mass shooting. Another example of sports helping a community come together. Olympic officials finally revealed the medal designs for the upcoming Summer Olympics and Paralympics. The designs came out merely 52 days before the opening ceremony in Rio, marking the latest medal design release since 2000. As usual, the first and second place medals are composed primarily of silver, with a thin layer of gold coming in the first place medal. The bronze is almost purely copper. One side features the Olympic logo with the words Rio 2006 surrounded by laurel leaves, while the other side includes the image of Nike, the ancient goddess of victory, and the Acropolis in the background. I thought it was the goddess of money and sneakers. This simple design comes as no surprise, since the Summer Games medals have been known to typically be more traditional than their Winter Games counterpart. I'm the Sports Professor Rick Horrow, and that's Beyond the Scoreboard. Join us next week when once again we go Beyond the Scoreboard.